All right, what's going on, you guys? I'm gonna go ahead and give you the only guide you will ever need to naturally boost your testosterone. And in this guide, we're not gonna talk about synthetic hormones or anything like that. As I said, it's going to be a natural boost of testosterone. So, with boosting testosterone, you don't need to rely on synthetic hormones or any external hormones to get your testosterone levels up. You can actually do this naturally. As long as you're a young, healthy man, you can do this naturally. Even men at an older age will be able to benefit from this. Obviously, the older you get, your natural testosterone production will plummet as you age. Not completely once you hit a specific age, but gradually as you get older. So if you're in your 40s and 50s and you have a hard time boosting your testosterone naturally, I would consult with a doctor to perhaps be prescribed with TRT, a TRT protocol to get your testosterone that way. If you do have your habits in check and food and everything and it doesn't work and you still find yourself to have low testosterone, consult with a doctor. But for most people, you're going to be able to do it naturally. For most men, you're going to be able to do it naturally through food, through habits, through things to avoid. So without further ado, let's get into it. See if it wants to switch. There we go. So, food is arguably the most important thing when it comes to boosting your testosterone levels naturally. It's arguably the most important thing. What you eat is going to make up your body and its health, and it's either going to make your body thrive or suffer. So make sure you eat good foods. The first food is eggs. Eggs is the best food on the planet. It contains all the good things there is. Good fats, good cholesterol, protein, vitamins, minerals, everything you need for your body to thrive. It's such a good testosterone boosting food. No one should neglect eggs. You should eat at least 4 eggs a day and try to keep them pasture raised. So make sure that they are cage free, but that they're pasture raised as well. Because if they're just cage free indoors, I'm sure you've seen photos and videos of these hens being cage free, but they're still inside, and these are not good conditions for them to thrive in. They eat crappy foods to grow at a rapid pace, and they're not in an environment for them to thrive. So it's not going to be the most quality eggs you can consume. So go for pasture raised eggs in that case. And also when it comes to beef is also one of those things where, the CDC and, this society as a whole tells you to avoid, because it's going to increase cancer risk and it's going to just be detrimental for your health, which is not the case. Human beings have eaten beef since the dawn of humanity. Like, we've always eaten meat, we've always eaten beef. This is just crucial and essential for our bodies. And beef has so many crucial and essential minerals and vitamins, and obviously all the amino acids, good fats that are going to be because healthy fats are a precursor for testosterone. You've probably heard that cholesterol is super bad for you, but it's not. It's actually a building block of testosterone, and cholesterol is found in eggs, so that's why they're good to consume. And with beef as well, you have cholesterol, so you shouldn't shy away from consuming beef because it has everything you need for your body to thrive. So go for the grass-fed beef. Make sure it isn't grain-fed. If you have to go for grain-fed, you can afford grass-fed all the time, do that. It's better than nothing, but grass-fed is to be preferred. Oysters is also one of those things. It's high in zinc. You should try to eat oysters a couple days a week. Obviously, oysters can be a little bit expensive for most people, and they're not very calorie rich, but they do have a lot of zinc, which is a good building block of testosterone. Go ahead and eat your onions as well. Raw onions are great for getting that extra boost. Obviously, eating raw onions may not be the most pleasant experience, but onions are superb for getting a boost in testosterone. And then lastly, raw honey. It's nature's own natural medicine, and it's so damn good for your body, and it has a positive effect on hormone levels as well. So make sure you do buy your raw honey and you consume it a few days a week at least, preferably every single day. A couple of teaspoons a day will do you justice. So go ahead and focus mostly on these foods. But I'd say keep it simple for the most part. You don't need to overcomplicate it. But like, these foods are absolutely phenomenal when it comes to naturally getting your testosterone levels up. Then we have supplementation. What kind of supplements do you need to get your testosterone levels up if you're not getting them through your food? So vitamin D, zinc, and boron, you can actually get that through food. So technically you don't need to supplement with these, but for most people it's going to be hard to get sufficient levels of vitamin D if you live in a colder country where, you know, the sun isn't present for the majority of the year. I'm from Sweden personally, so for me, like, we don't see the sun for many months of the year. The majority of the year we don't see the sun basically. So for me, I've always supplemented with vitamin D. Vitamin D is a huge building block of testosterone. Everyone should have sufficient levels of vitamin D, at least 5,000 UIs per day. And it's extremely, extremely important that you get your vitamin D levels either through sunlight or through supplementation. Ideally through sunlight, because your body is going to be able to absorb that. It's going to be more bioavailable for your body as opposed to supplementation, but supplementation is still better than nothing. Zinc, as I mentioned in the last slide with oysters being high in zinc, zinc is also hugely beneficial for testosterone. So make sure your zinc levels on a daily basis are sufficient and that you get enough zinc from day to day. Shilajit is one of those things. It's a newer supplement, or it's been around for a while, I would say, but it's been since like last year where it started getting more and more popular. It's basically a mountain paste found in the Himalayas and other mountains that contains a fuck ton of minerals that are going to be essential for your body. Minerals that are very difficult to find in food, that are like, it's such a mineral packed supplement. And you just take 2 clicks of that per day and, you know, mix it into your coffee or tea or whatever. I personally mix it into my coffee. I don't taste it. Like, in the beginning, I did find that it did taste pretty weird, but I've gotten used to it. So Shilajit is one of those amazing supplements that have been proven to boost testosterone. If you use it consistently for 2-3 months, you're gonna find yourself having elevated testosterone levels. You're gonna feel like yourself being more mentally clear and having higher energy levels, and that is a direct result of you getting your testosterone levels increased. So Shilajit, amazing supplement, love it. Boron is also one of those minerals that have been proven to have positive effects on testosterone, but you can get boron through foods like honey, and like, it is present in some foods, not so much in meats, if I'm not mistaken, but if you do consume honey on a day-to-day basis, you should be good on boron. But if you want to supplement on that, you can do that as well, because it has been proven to actually be beneficial for testosterone. Tongat Ali has also been proven, according to case studies, that it does naturally boost your testosterone. It's also been promoted by Huberman, and Huberman is a G in this space when it comes to health and biohacking and hormone optimization. So Tongat Ali is one of those supplements that I do recommend you start taking. But honestly, you don't need to overcomplicate it with supplements. These are just like, you should always have your diet dialed in first with pasture-raised eggs, grass-fed beef, raw honey, and all these good things like oyster, all these good things that optimize your testosterone levels and optimize your body. And then if you've gotten that optimized, of course, you can use supplementation as a bonus. Tongat Ali is a good one. It's been proven to be a good one. And lastly, with supplementation, we have ashwagandha. And I'd be careful when it comes to recommending ashwagandha. Ashwagandha has been proven to actually boost testosterone, but it has also been proven to have numbing effects on your overall mood and your feelings. It kind of numbs people down where they become, because what ashwagandha does, the way it does increase testosterone is by lowering your cortisol, which is your stress hormone, which in result directly increases your testosterone. But our bodies do require to have some level of stress. Our bodies will not function properly if we have too low of a stress. And what ashwagandha does, it takes our stress levels, our cortisol levels, to an abnormal level, an abnormally low level, which kind of numbs us down and makes us abnormally calm and abnormally numb in our feelings. And it's not the best thing, I would say. And you don't want to become a robot just to boost your testosterone and become like this weird numbed down individual. So we still need some level of cortisol in our bodies, and getting them to too low of a level is not good for us either. And that's what ashwagandha has been proven to do. So of course it does increase testosterone by decreasing stress, but it has been proven to have numbing effects as well. So I would be careful to promote ashwagandha. And when I personally took ashwagandha for a period, I did experience some like heartburns or chest burns. And as soon as I started taking it, I started feeling weird. Just days in, my chest started hurting and I felt very weird. And it got a bit worrying to a point where I just stopped taking it. And then the chest pains just disappeared. So I'd be careful with recommending ashwagandha, but just for your knowledge that it does increase testosterone, it's been proven to do so. But I would honestly, not recommend taking it, because there are better ways to increase your testosterone. So through these supplements that I just mentioned and food. And then we get to our habits. Your habits should be very simple, but habits do have a crucial part in you getting your testosterone levels up. So the first thing, lift heavy weights each and every single week, a few times a week. Lift heavy weights. Get those heavy reps in where you're doing like at least a few exercises per session, where you're doing at least one, where you're doing 5 heavy reps, where you're really pushing strength. And then for the rest of the session, you can focus more on hypertrophy, where you do 8 to 12. But you should always keep it heavy. Don't sacrifice form when you go heavy, because you're just going to injure yourself and you're not going to do your joints or your body any good. So lift heavy with proper form. Do one exercise with 5 reps of really, really heavy weights where you fail on the 5th, or at least have 1 to 2 reps in the tank after doing 5 reps. And then do 8 to 12 for the rest of the exercises, where you isolate more and do more hypertrophy, and still go heavy with perfect form, where you reach failure or almost failure at the 12th rep, I would say. So lift heavy, get your sleep in 7 to 8 hours per night. Don't be this kind of individual that sacrifices sleep, that thinks sleep is for losers. Oh, I only sleep 4 hours a night, I get more done than you. Don't be that person. Please don't be that person. You're just going to fuck yourself up. It's not cool to sleep 4 or 5 hours. Get your sleep in. Don't be a dumbass. And then we have fasting. Fasting has actually been proven to boost testosterone. Our bodies are not meant to eat all the time. You may think that you need to eat every 3 to 4 hours. You actually don't. You can go longer periods of time without eating. If you don't want to do longer fasts, such as 24 to 48 hours or 72 hours, what you can do is you can do intermittent fasting. So you can fast for, 16 hours a day? I usually fast for, I would say 14 hours every single day. So my standard is 14 hours. I don't eat after 10 p.m. and then I eat my first meal at like 12 p.m. So for me, it's always like 14 hours. And that's good for your body. Your body needs to cleanse. It's good for your cells. It's good for your cell production. It's good for your body when it comes to, combating cancer and mutated cell growth. It's actually very good to cleanse your body and detox by doing like 14-hour fasts on a day-to-day basis, like intermittent fasting, and the occasional 24 to 72-hour fast. I've never personally done a 72-hour fast, but I'm going to try it in the near future. But I've done a 48-hour fast. You do feel amazing after doing it. It's so good for your body. So try it out. Do your occasional fasting. Do your daily intermittent fasting. It's actually good for you. Then manage your stress. If you find yourself in a stressful period in your life, calm down. Try to just chill out. Break down the things you need to do to not overwhelm yourself. Do some meditation. Go to spa. Do something that kind of gets your stress levels down. There's no point in you being stressed, because the higher your cortisol, the lower your testosterone, because they just take each other out. The higher your testosterone, the lower your cortisol. The higher your cortisol, the lower your testosterone. So don't be stressed. Get that stress hormone down. It's just not going to be good for your overall test. And then sunlight. The sun is absolutely crucial for testosterone because our body produces vitamin D as we get sunlight directly on our skin, as our skin is exposed to sunlight. So you should get at least 20-30 minutes of daily exposure to sunlight. However, as I mentioned in a past slide, if you find yourself living in a country where you may not see the sun for the most part of the year, supplement with vitamin D. Your body needs vitamin D to produce testosterone. So don't neglect that. Sunlight is always going to be preferred because your body, it's going to be more bioavailable to your body. Your body is going to be able to produce it more efficiently because it's a more natural way for our bodies to produce, to absorb vitamin D as opposed to getting it through supplements. So if you have the opportunity, if you live in a tropical country, right now I'm in Thailand, so it's perfect for me. But for the most part of my life, I've lived in Sweden, so I've always supplemented with vitamin D, 5,000 UIs per day. Even right now, I do it just for the fuck of it. I don't care, and it hasn't been detrimental for my health or anything like that. It's not going to be that either, unless you do like 20 to 30k UIs per day. Then maybe you'll feel a little weird, you'll feel a little nauseous, and it may have some negative effects. But other than that, just get your vitamin D supplementation. If ideally, get your sunlight every single day, 20-30 minutes. It's going to be absolutely crucial. Then things to avoid. Let's just move my face here. Things to avoid when it comes to trying to get the most out of your testosterone production. Standard hygiene articles such as standard shampoo and deodorants are not good for you. Ideally, you'd want to use a natural shampoo that doesn't have a bunch of chemicals you can name inside of it. Like a standard argan shampoo that doesn't have a bunch of ingredients and a bunch of chemicals that will inhibit testosterone production. Something that just has very few ingredients. It can be very hard to find, but if you can find those kinds of shampoos, go for them. Ideally, I would just say do something like coconut oil. It smells good, it's good for your skin, it's good for your hair, and it's just one ingredient, which is coconut oil. So go for that ideally. And when it comes to deodorants, from what I know, there are natural deodorants out there, so those are going to be ideal for you as opposed to going for the standard chemically packed deodorants. Then we have tap water and plastic bottled water. You shouldn't consume tap water. It contains a bunch of chemicals such as fluoride. It holds and contains a bunch of heavy metals, microplastics, and it doesn't filter out pharmaceuticals. So you'll basically get women's prescription pills. What are they called? Birth control pills in your water. It won't be filtered out. You will get this directly in your water and you will consume it. So pharmaceuticals won't be filtered out. Heavy metals, microplastics, fluoride, all these things that are detrimental for your body will not be filtered out. So what you can do is get a reverse osmosis system to filter out your tap water. That's the solution. And like when it comes to plastic bottled water, avoid that as well because it contains BPAs. You don't need that. You don't need bisphenol A inside your body. It is a huge hormone disruptor. So completely and fully avoid that. It's definitely not good for you. It's horrible for your hormone production. Go for glass bottled water, ideally. But again, if that's something that you can't afford, if it's too expensive to you, which it's going to be for most people, just install a reverse osmosis system that filters out your tap water and you'll be good to go. But ideally, if you can buy glass bottled water, you'll get those minerals as well. You'll get actually good natural water, spring water, instead of just having fully filtered water. So you'll get minerals with that as well. But if that's too expensive to you, if it doesn't fit your budget, install a reverse osmosis system. That's going to do you good as well. Avoid processed food. So everything that isn't a whole food, everything that has more than one ingredient, honestly. But you can have whole foods that have 2 to 3 ingredients. You just have to check what those ingredients are. Let's say you're buying like a steak, but it's been spiced with some salt, just salt, nothing more than salt. In that case, it's still a whole food with an additional ingredient, which is salt. But ideally, you'd want to check for foods with one ingredient, which is whole foods, such as potatoes, meats, eggs, fruits, white rice. So stay away from processed foods. Stick to those foods that I just mentioned. Everything that is whole food, stick to that. Everything that has a bunch of ingredients, such as pasta, breads, other processed foods such as fries, whatever it is. Stay away from that. Stay away from those seed oils. They're highly inflammatory for your body. You don't need them. They're just going to fuck your body up, fuck your overall hormone production up, and your hormonal balances. It's just going to make you hormonally imbalanced. Stay away from them. Don't be a soy boy and think it's okay to consume soy, because soy is not good for you. It's been proven to contain a bunch of phytoestrogens, so you're not going to want that in your body. It's going to decrease testosterone levels and just increase your estrogen. Spearmint tea and flaxseed has also been proven to have some decreasing effects on testosterone. They haven't been proven to have detrimental proven side effects on testosterone. However, if you can avoid spearmint tea and flaxseed, go ahead and do that. You'll be better off without them. You don't need them. Aspartame is also one of those things that is an artificial sweetener, and it hasn't been proven to have negative effects on your health, but there have been some case studies that highlight its effects on serum testosterone and testosterone production. So if you can avoid aspartame, I would honestly say if you have to drink soda, go for the normal ones once in a while. Stay away from aspartame. At least sugar, it's easier for your body to break it down and process it. But honestly, I would say stay away from sodas as a whole. But if you have to drink soda once in a while, go for the sugar kinds. Like, it's not going to fuck you up as much, in my opinion. Aspartame is not something you want in your body. It's literally lab made. It's artificial. It can't be good for you. I can't buy into that shit that it's actually good for you. I believe that it's such a big market for most beverage companies to promote aspartame and promote sweeteners, artificial sweeteners, because sugar has been demonized. Sugar is not good for you. That's why they kind of like pivoted into that direction, where they promote something that doesn't contain sugar, but they promote something that, in my opinion, may be even worse than sugar. But it's such a big market right now. Everyone buys Coke Zero. Everyone buys Pepsi Max, and all these drinks that don't have sugar. It's such a big market. It's $1 billion industry. So I don't think they're going to promote any case studies that speak against aspartame, but I don't believe that it's good for you, even though there aren't any clear studies that say otherwise. So in my opinion, avoid aspartame. Again, avoid BPAs. Don't drink from plastic bottles. Don't try to avoid store receipts if you can. Don't touch them. If you can get a digital receipt, those are obviously going to be preferred as opposed to normal receipts, because they contain so much BPA. But that's not the worst thing. The worst thing, in my opinion, is drinking from plastic bottles. People think that drinking from plastic bottles is not a big deal, but bisphenol A, or BPA as we know it, is horrible for your hormones. So stay away from it. And also Teflon pans. Don't buy pans or cook with pans that are Teflon pans. So most pans that contain Teflon are mostly these non-stick pans. You're not going to want to cook on them because they seep into your food and they have negative effects on your testosterone. So what you're going to want to do is buy a cast iron or buy like just a normal steel pan. I think they're called cast irons. I'm not too sure about that. But they're basically very heavy pans that don't contain any Teflon. Sure, they won't be as convenient. They will stick to the pan, but at least you won't get a bunch of Teflon into your food that will fuck up your testosterone. So buy a cast iron or buy, a steel pan. They're not going to be as convenient, but they're better than Teflon pans. And yeah, that should be it. Let's see if I have another slide. No, that should be it. So these are the things you want to go ahead and do. Get your food dialed in, supplementation, habits, and things to avoid to optimize your testosterone. So do all of these things, and I can assure you that your testosterone levels will see a positive effect. You will feel 10 times better, more energy, more mental clarity, more muscle mass, more strength, more everything. Just implement these things. You don't have to implement everything perfectly, but if you just implement 80% of all the things that I mentioned, you're gonna see a difference in your overall health and overall testosterone, and you're gonna feel absolutely amazing. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, guys, just leave a like, leave a comment. If you have any comments where you want to where I maybe said something wrong and you want to correct me, please do so. I'm always open to criticism. I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I'm a professor or expert in these fields. I know a few things, but obviously there may be things that maybe I say something wrong here and there. So if you have something that you noticed in this presentation that I said wrong, please correct me. I love criticism. I love to learn. So go ahead and do that. Or if you have any questions at all, just shoot me a comment in the comment section below. And as always, guys, I will see you for the next one tomorrow. Cheers.